Hey, what's up, you guys? This is Sheila B. I'm coming to you with another review of Love and Marriage Huntsville Season 6, Episode 26, Lies and Videotape. Yeah, I'm going to try to make this recap kind of quick because my daughter is here from college. This is her fall break. And yeah, we having a cute little movie night. So I'm going to, I said, well, let me go ahead and just watch this show and do my recap so I can get back to my daughter and her friends and stuff downstairs. We're having a good little time, y'all. Anyway, y'all. All right, so don't hesitate to like, comment, and subscribe. I am building a growing community, and I do want you to be a part of it. So if you like any of my content, please do not hesitate to like, comment, and subscribe. But we getting into this episode because it seems like the theme of this second half of this season 6B, it's a lot of to be continues. It's like every one of these are to be continued, right? So we have a to be continued from last week where Marceau was going off on Marceau talking about, Melody not speaking, and it was Melody's idea anyway to have sponsorships, and pretty much he feels like that Marceau was downplaying everything that the Holts have done for them about them starting the business. Okay, Marcel made it seem as if they came to the Holts and was like, we're going to help you out of a rut. So we're going to put you in on our business. And then once the business gets where it needs to be, then then you all can buy us out. Now, that's what Martell said. Now I'm thinking, okay, that's cool. That sounds like, something that they're trying to do to, these are our friends. We want to help them get on their feet. That's what it seemed like in the beginning. But toward the end of the episode, when they had the whole sit down, it seems like it was something different. Now, this is my interpretation. If you interpreted something different by that conversation, let me know. But this is what I gather. But anyway, Martell said he is going to have a conversation with Marceau because he was saying like Marceau being disrespectful. However he got what he got is because of them, and God can bring them down because God don't play, and neither does he, or whatever. So that was that. Now, Letitia and her daughters, they have a hair care line. I think it's what Macy and Mila hair care or something like that. And they do have naturally long hair. So the thing about hair care products, if your hair is already naturally long, then it's almost, is it easier to sell or hard to sell? Because I don't know if people want to see people with short hair using the products and it grow, or people with long hair using the products and it grows. So, I mean, growing hair is a lot. It has a lot to do with genetics. Now, we do have a lot of products that can help, enhance hair growth, but naturally it is genetics. And, so it is what it is. But the kids are entrepreneurs, and that is a great thing because we do want our children to grow up, being their own boss, their own leaders, and employing people so we can create jobs for other people. And they have packages. I think they have like 175 orders, and they're doing a kind of like a little small assembly line, which is really good. Teaching the kids the order operation, teaching the kids the books. I think it was Macy, maybe it's Mila, I don't know, but one of them was asking about the money, and Marceau comes over, and Marceau is being a dictator. He says, I want to make sure that the kids are knowing and understanding their business. He wants to make sure that they are really hands on with their business. But Tisha, on the other hand, she's just like, you know what? I just want them to have fun. I want it to be a balance. I don't want them to be so much into the business to where they don't want to do it anymore. And I do understand that because at the end of the day, they are young, and they probably looking at it like, my mom and them got us into this business. So, I mean, yeah, I want to do it, but it's going to get done regardless because it's my mom and them business, really. But they put my name on it, but they teaching me. So, I mean, I can understand that, because I even got my daughter her own little business, but she really relied on me to do it. It's Gloss by Aria, shop glossbyaria.com, because she makes lip glosses. But anyway, so that's enough of that. And then Tisha puts her girls on a break, so they go off and they had a little break, and then they have a sit down. And while they're sitting down, they're talking about the whole expo meeting. And Letitia feels as if, it was a lot of negative feedback. But Marcel, he's just like, you know what? Feedback is feedback. I'm just going to take everything they said. I'm going to apply it. I'm going to do better, which is good. That is supposed to always be the goal. But Letitia just like, yeah, whatever. So then she brings up the whole situation between Stormy and Marceau. Marceau's whole thing is Stormy came in with whatever energy she had, and Marceau feels as if he matched her energy. From what I saw, to me, Stormy did come in with the attitude. She came in, she didn't speak to Marceau, and they looked at it well when they did the flashback, because apparently they had a whole sit down. Stormy and Letitia had a sit down at Black to discuss the poking, because Letitia said they were poking each other. From what I gathered, Stormy was started it, period, because she didn't want to hug him, and she's the first one that would interject, and she called him a bee, like a female dog, which is so disrespectful. And I'm glad that and Letitia said that it was disrespectful, because Stormy said, "Did you like that I called, your husband out of his name?" And she was like, "Yeah, and please, don't do it," or whatever. Because Letitia wants to be friends with Stormy. She doesn't want to be in the middle. But Stormy feels as if Marceau is picking at her. But I just look at it like, Stormy, you doing a little bit too much. Because if you called that man out of his name, and if that man would have turned back around and called you out of yours, then it would have been a whole issue. It really would have. So I look at it like, what's good for the goose, it is good for the gander. What's good for the male is good for the female. If you coming up to a man and talking to him crazy, then I feel like that man has every right to talk to you back. Now, if you just minding your own business, ain't doing nothing in your own space, and a man come up to you and acting crazy, that's when you need to get your husband to be like, I ain't done nothing. But you coming at this man, you expect this man not to come back. That's, to me, that's senseless. It doesn't make sense. Anyway, so Marcel said this. He said pretty much he ain't friends with them like that. And he was like, however Stormy is going to give it to me, he said he going to give it back to her. He ain't changing it. And I was just like, well, at least he's stuck on what he stuck on. He feel how he feel. And I mean, I really don't disagree with Marceau, because you can't come to me and be disrespectful and expect me to be nice. That ain't cool either. You know what I'm saying? I don't believe in that. And Letitia, she just don't want to be in the middle, because she says she likes Stormy. I mean, hey, Tisha, you can only do what you can do. It is what it is. All right, so now you have this whole sit down with Kimmy and her friend Andrea. Kimmy's still talking about her libido is low when it comes to having relations with Maurice. And the friend comes over and she brings these old weird looking toys. Child, I was like, what do you do with these? I was confused. Like, what is this big long stick? What you She said, now I got the kegels and you really can't see the kegels, but I can walk. Kimmy gonna have to walk around with no drawers on. And that thing stuck up her coochie. Girl, what you gonna do with that? Anyway, then the friend talking about, man, I must have brought the wrong toy. You did, and then she gonna bring this little old vibrator thing. Kimmy said, you know what? I'm gonna give her an E for effort and put this over there with the toys that we already got. Child, you should have asked Kimmy what kind of toys she had at first before you brought them, before you wasted your money. So so then they started talking about therapy, right? About having like a sex therapist, a regular therapist, and all this other stuff, because of course Maurice feels as if all this is in Kimmy's head, but at the end of the day, Kimmy done went through radiation, chemo, and everything else. And if her body isn't reacting well to whatever Maurice is trying to do to her, then it's not. You know what I'm saying? She says, like she said, I'm depressed. I've been depressed. My body don't look the same. I don't feel the same. And also with the medicine, it says, causes low libido. Like, I don't feel it like I used to. And she's really trying to get Maurice to understand that, but Maurice's head is thick. He got a thick head, and it's irritating. And if therapy will help y'all, I guess it will, because it's something how a woman can tell their husband the same thing over and over and over and over again, and then they go and talk to somebody else, and they'll say, "Oh, you know what? You sure right." The woman has said the same thing, but I guess it sounds different when somebody else say it. Child, I guess. But anyway, so hopefully they gonna do something like that. But they still together. I guess maybe the relations have increased between them. We'll find out at the reunion because they done did the whole reunion now. I don't know what they cooking downstairs now. I made some chili Frito pies and it smell like they burning up something. Yeah, I really do. I really do need to hurry up and get downstairs because I don't know if I can smell that up here. Something ain't right. But y'all, sorry, that was a side note. All right, so you have Marceau and Letitia. They're doing Bet on Black, and it's to help children, families have a home, either if they're going to buy a home or if they're going to build a home. We're just trying to put them in a home, and I really think that that is a good cause. Like that is really really good, and it seems like they're really really trying to help the community, and I can appreciate that, because even now, like the holiday, shoot, every day, forget the holidays. I need somewhere to sleep Monday through Friday, not just on Christmas and Thanksgiving. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, they had to keep doing the takes over and over and over again. They finally got it right. And yeah, they want people to bet on black, and they're inviting everybody to come out to do the whole betting thing. I think that was the gist of this conversation. Did anything else happen? Letitia, she says she ain't got no sex appeal, but Letitia is naturally sexy. Sometimes when people are naturally sexy, they can't. I mean, you can't. It's kind of hard to act sexy when you're already kind of naturally sexy. It's kind of weird. It's goofy. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is. I don't know, child. Yeah, they betting on black. Bet on black. Anyway, so now here's the conversation that I was talking about earlier. Marceau said he was going over to Martell's house because Martell's energy was different when they had the whole town hall meeting about the Black Expo. So he's just trying to go over there to see where Martell's head is. And when he gets over there, they sit down or whatever. And Marceau calls Chris Fletcher, Messy Fletcher, because he says, he wants to make sure that the conversation that they had was relayed the right way. And Martell whole thing was he doesn't understand why Melody didn't speak at the expo, being that she speaks all the time everywhere else. And he didn't understand why she didn't speak or she didn't get paid and all of that stuff. And with just when Marceau was about to answer the question as the reason why, I guess it's because she had all her different business or something like that. The reason why, then Fletcher ends up calling Martell because Fletcher is about to put a sign outside the house saying that the house is for sale. Now, I was just sitting here thinking, like, Martell, he was like, so why are you putting a for sale sign outside the door when the house is supposed to be already sold? Make it make sense. And you telling me I got to get out the house? No. And then I thought about it. I was like, oh, Fletcher just don't want you in that house. He trying to do his job and he don't want you there. Period. So he doing whatever he got to do and say whatever he got to say just to get you up out that house. But Martell said he ain't going. Martell said, I ain't going nowhere until but Martell, you already said you had a place to stay. So I don't understand why you ain't even packing your bag. It don't look like a bag is packed. They still got covered. The throat cover across the thing. That man ain't going nowhere. Oh, is this a storyline? You know what? This may just be a storyline to find Fletcher a reason to be on this show. That's probably what it is, child, because this is the weirdest story ever. So Fletcher comes in, he sits down, and then they start to rehash everything that was going on. And then this is where it gets murky, because I'm not going line by line, no details, just telling you an overview of this whole conversation. They start getting to the point of views as who did what for whom. And earlier, Martell was saying that the only reason why they enter into business with the Scots is to help them. But Marceau is saying no, this was an agreement. This was a 50-50. This was a 50-50 contract between both of them. Nobody was helping nobody. They just like, oh, we friends, we should go into business together. Because Marceau does the construction, what is it called? The commercial, and Martell does the real estate. And they was doing that whole property preservation stuff. But they were saying, I think this will be a good joint venture because this is different sides of realty. And so that's where they were going. Everything was going to be 50-50. All the money was going to be split equally. So I'm like, where did the helping come from? So you can't help nobody if it was a joint venture between the both of y'all. Both of y'all sit down and said that. And then Martell was saying that he was loaning them money. And Marceau said, you ain't never loaned me no money. Because he said, when did I get the money? And then Martell said, no, because you didn't need it. So why is this even a point of conversation about you loaning them money when you ain't never gave them no money? Because they didn't even need it. But then when Marceau said, but didn't I loan you money? Now Martell said he don't remember. And he said, yes, I got checks that say I loaned you money. And Marceau said, I ain't never even tell Letitia because this was my friend. He said, I didn't go around tell. And I was like, well, that's honorable. You didn't go around telling people that you gave this man money. But then Martell want to go and tell everybody how much you helped. I said, So I mean, it made me. I mean, at the end of the day, I know y'all don't like Marceau and Tisha. Well, a lot of y'all don't like Marceau and Tisha, but I mean, I don't see Marceau doing really anything wrong in this conversation when it comes to who helped who or who did what for what. So I don't know. I was because at first I was on Martell's side, like, dang, they doing y'all like this, and y'all help them do this, and y'all help them do that. But then when you sit down and listen to both people speak in the same room, then it's like, well, you really didn't do too much for them. Well, you did get them on this TV show, which is good. But at the end of the day, they had to audition, and if the producers didn't like them, then they wouldn't have been on the show. But you still introduced them to, Carlos them and being on the show. But I was just like, that's interesting. And then even Chris Fletcher knew that this conversation wasn't going nowhere, and it actually really wasn't going in Martell's favor. So he just kind of cut up, like, okay, whatever. And then they talked about the friendship between Fletcher and Marceau, and Marceau said he formally invited him to come to the event, to the Bet on Black event, and he told Martell, you coming, and you bring a whole fleet of your harems. And they laughed. And this lets me know too that they are really real friends. Because for them to have such a heated argument about really they throwing out each other's dirty laundry, you know what I'm saying? Like, hey, at the end of the day, they know the truth, so it is what it is. And I really didn't want to get all into the whole bankruptcy stuff and y'all getting on stage telling all their business and all that stuff, because I really didn't too much care about that. But I did want to really just hit on that part when they was talking about who helped who, because I remember that the host was throwing it in their face. We helped them. We helped them. We helped them. He would have still been working at the movie theater. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to know, like, so really what was going on with y'all. So yeah. All right, so now we have this whole sit down between Melody and Kiki. When Melody was giving legs, wasn't she? All the legs was given. And here come Kiki with her shorts on. Okay, Kiki in your shorts. So they sit down, and Melody wanted to understand why Kiki wasn't at the Ace baby reveal. Kiki talking about she was back and forth in the hospital and all that stuff, right? And then they bring up, how is everything going between Marceau and Kiki, and how everything is going with Kiki and Letitia. And, they going backwards. They ain't on the same term. And yeah, they ain't nobody on good terms, pretty much. She said Marceau act different from how he do when he had money prior to him having money. And then they bring up the whole Stormy situation because Melody says that when they had the Expo town hall, there was tension in the room between Stormy and Marceau. And then that's when Kiki, comes in and she's just like, yeah, she had talked to Stormy about the $100, which I'm with Melody, like, y'all millionaires, why y'all talking about $100? And Kiki brought it up like, yes, she brought up because it was the way that it was handled. And again, Stormy said that Marceau was being disrespectful. I really didn't see him being disrespectful. Yes, he should have not asked you for no money, but did he come to you disrespectful? No, he did not. Then they started bleeping out names. And I was like, now, if you're going to get on TV and you're going to tell a story about somebody doing menage a trois and three ways and all this stuff, can we hear a name? Can we? I mean, because is this fact or is this, like, let me know. Because if this stuff ain't real, like, because I really want to know. Now, Kiki, you sitting over here. Now, we see you on tape stealing up out of Ace Hardware store or out of the Lowe's, wherever you was at. And we looking dead at you on videotape, and you said that wasn't you. Or maybe it was, or maybe it wasn't. But now you want to sit up in there. You didn't want nobody talking about you doing that, but now you sitting over here bringing up some stuff that we ain't even privy to, that we can't even see, and y'all bleeping out names. Like, you bringing up some stuff about Marceau running around here in threesomes at a club and all that stuff. Are you gonna do a picture? Are you gonna give us a name? Can we get something to know? Because if you ain't gonna, I know you said it on the camera, but they bleeped it out. I mean, but I'm like, we back on Marceau cheating again. That's what we back. We back. We went all the way back there. Is somebody going now? Is this time somebody gonna say I'm the one that he cheated with? Can we at least get that? Like, now it's a to be continued. I'm really kind of over this whole Marceau cheating thing. If we ain't really got no factual proof, I'm really over that. That's really, this is a this is like a regurgitated cycle, like over and over. Marceau cheating. It's almost like, Kiki, you saying this stuff just to stay on this show. You don't want to talk about your methadone addiction. You don't want to talk about your opioids. You don't want to talk about you run around here in these Lowe's and Home Depot and hardware stores. You don't want to talk about nothing like that, but you want to talk about somebody else's business. But you don't want to talk about your own. Why is you on now? Come on. You on here for what? To spread gossip and rumors? Can you bring up a picture? Child, I'm over there. Anyway, y'all, just listen to be continued. Child, I ain't even really get into it no way. But anyway, let me know what y'all think. I know some of y'all probably like, oh, I knew he was cheating. No, we don't know, because they bleeping out people. That's irritating to me. Anyway, y'all, this Sheila be like, comment and subscribe, and let me know what y'all thought about this episode. Don't be mad at me too mad in the comments. And if y'all, I'll be respectful. All right, bye, y'all.